Unmuted. There we go. Boom. Hey guys, welcome to the Swarm Report. My name is Hudah, bringing you around the crypto AI ecosystem in 30 minutes a day. Man, we had a cool buff to this show this week. We usually talk AI market, we talk AI news, but just decided this week it is time to go heavy into the virtuals ecosystem and the Genesis launches. And so I hope you guys have liked that little, big buff to the show. But now it's time to go deeper, and now it's time to start talking to the teams who are launching on virtuals. And I'm excited to bring you guys our first one today, and it's a big one. It's a hot one. It is John Chen, the man behind Gloria AI. Really, really awesome launch on the virtuals platform today. So John, welcome, man.
Great to be here. Super excited to be on your podcast. Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy couple of days. Apologize if I'm a little underslept and some mild allergies, but otherwise I'm in good shape and just really happy to be here.
The life of a builder. We were chatting just a couple minutes before the show, and it's like heading into like a TGE especially, and anytime you're building and releasing, like have a new phase of the project coming out. Yeah, the time and work that goes into it. Yeah, I imagine you're not sleeping much, and I imagine like nerves on edge heading into TGE. How did that go for you today? Like I think we all saw I'll show it on the screen, oversubscribed by what, 700%. So people certainly like saw it, loved it, wanted it. How are you and the team doing from that?
Like I said, a little bit tired, but I think well worth it. It's been pretty exciting. We were, to be honest, surprised, right? It was beyond what we were expecting to have, 2,000 plus participants, over 700% oversubscription. So we're super grateful for all the supporters that came out. Big shout out to Virtuals and the whole team for supporting us. The Genesis Launchpad with its kind of, anti-sniping mechanics and kind of the fair launch principles really kind of aligns with what we're looking for. So overall, it's been a great experience so far. And, the community that's been building now around the Gloria token has been fantastic. We're, super grateful for people who are continuing to join our community. It's just the beginning, right? There's a lot that we're still got to do. We have a long roadmap that we're looking to achieve and execute against. But this is, definitely a big milestone, and we're excited for what's going to come.
Awesome. I'm putting in a mental bookmark there about community. I want to come back to that because I'm curious how that plays into, you launch an AI agent and you do have to keep the community in and engaged and keep them in mind. And it's something, there's a nice balance there. And I'm going to pick your brain about that a little bit. But again, congrats about the token launch. Congrats to you guys out there who got into that pre-sale. Dude, what did it, I think a 10x? I don't know where it's at exactly right now. I'm like kind of confused what market cap these launch at, but I think it's like a 10x here right now, which is awesome. So again, congrats to you guys. Maybe let's start with the agent itself, with Gloria, and what she does and why and how. I get the content. My job isn't threatened by AI exactly, but it's going to get a lot more competitive. We're going to see AI all over the world of news and content, and this, I think you're right at the cutting edge of that with Gloria. But yeah, a little bit about what Gloria is and how you plan to utilize her over the next days, weeks, years.
Yeah. So, there's really two components to Gloria. One is Gloria AI, the Twitter, AI agent, which is, kind of curating news, currently specifically news about the AI agent ecosystem. And she's, kind of tweeting on the regular about what's happening in this space. And then the second component, which is kind of the bigger component, is the infrastructure that powers Gloria, which is a, highly curated, high signal, highly customizable news data platform that can provide these high fidelity news signals in a very programmable way for consumption by traders and other AI agent platforms. And those feeds are structured in JSON format so they can be readily ingested by deep AI agents or trading agents or anyone that's looking for clear signals that they can use to kind of power their trading activity.
So like Gloria's data in her newsfeed, I don't know if this is all things you can share, but I'm going to try anyways. Where is it sourced from? How does she get those signals? Because it's not like she is picking up stories elsewhere. She's breaking the stories often. I assume. Yeah. How does that work? And then also, how are users going to ingest that data? Again, it's the agent, but again, API. There's other ways to access a terminal coming.
Yeah. So the first part is in terms of the data sources. I mean, Crypto Briefing, which is the news media company that kind of Gloria AI spun off from. I'm the CEO of Crypto Briefing, and now a core contributor of Gloria AI. Crypto Briefing as a company, we've been breaking news and sourcing news for 7-8 years in the crypto industry. So that's kind of our wheelhouse. And what we started doing about 1.5 years ago was we kind of started seeing some of the writing on the wall. Media companies in general were looking at existential threats coming from AI and all these new disruptive technologies. So we wanted to kind of get ahead of that, and we started building out AI tooling to help improve the productivity of our internal content and editorial teams. So we started building listening tools that's essentially we were already doing this with people, right? Like looking at different sources, but we now started to build out AI tooling that can then listen and monitor to news websites and project blogs and forums and crypto Twitter handles and regulatory bodies and all these different places that we're monitoring. And we built out a platform that can take in all these information and then essentially curate that and then output something. So that's actually already was being used. We rolled that out end of last year to be used by our editorial team. And then we realized at the end of last year that like we could do more than just have it being used by an internal team. We could, of course, with quite a bit of additional development and work, evolve that into what it is now, which is one was to launch an actual Twitter-based AI agent that could curate and report on a specific sector of the news, and more importantly leverage the tech to develop this Gloria AI news data platform that can then provide these highly curated news feeds to be used by other AI agents, by funds, by trading platforms, by traders, and there's many other categories, right? Essentially, anyone that is looking for data, for news data that may have a challenge today, and what we identify as two kind of major gaps. One is the latency. So if you want to wait for an article to come out on something from a CoinDesk or Cointelegraph or a major news outlet, the news has to break. It's got to go through an editorial team, a department. It's got to get published. That used to take hours. Nowadays it probably takes minutes to tens of minutes. But because we're already kind of in that field, we're discovering those signals as they happen, like other media outlets, and then within seconds converting that into a news signal to be deployed and consumed by others. So we have an ultra low latency, near real time news feed capability that we can provide for people that are looking for fast, signals that they can act on. So obviously trading agents and deep AI agents, for example, would need some of this kind of functionality. The other part that we found a need for or a gap in the market is on the customizable side. So sure, you can go out and go to a major news outlet and get maybe even an API feed that covers broad crypto news, right? What's going on with Bitcoin or Ethereum or what's happening in US regulatory policies. But what if you want to look for stuff like, was there a hack on maybe a lesser known protocol in the Sonic ecosystem? Or even what are the newest launches on the Virtual's Genesis Launchpad? These things aren't necessarily always covered by, quote unquote, mainstream crypto or mainstream news media. And sometimes even if they do, it's not a like a priority, and it may come out hours later. And by then, for people who are doing trading or something where time is of essence, that news is no longer important or relevant, or it's not usable anymore. So we found that if we can focus on those two things, we are hopefully going to be able to bring tremendous value to those that are looking for near real-time signals and those looking for information that is not readily available in other places.
It's wild because if you're a trader, um, minutes matter, sometimes seconds matter. It really, really does. I can picture Gloria then plugged into even swarms and contributing in that way. I gotta tell you, man, I do 2 shows a day. I write a weekly newsletter. In the past, I've written articles. I probably spend, no exaggeration, probably 5 hours a day just researching, like curating them myself. And now you have tools like this that are doing all that work for me. In fact, like, so earlier I was scrolling the Gloria timeline, and these are all stories that I would have already been curating myself for this show, for the Swarm Report. But it would have taken me hours to find these all on their own, and maybe an hour, maybe two. But the fact that it's here and scrolling gets it to me basically in an instant is wild. It changes the game for content creators too. So traders impacted by this in a great way. Content creators, same thing. Anybody looking to keep their finger on the pulse of just crypto in general, or wherever you're going to point an agent like this to. Dude, pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. How do you keep it so dialed in, giving you this information at that kind of speed, at that rate, but also make sure you're verifying, the data's or the information's accurate? How do you tune that, and how do you even do it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, we have like a multi-agentic framework on the back end with multiple agents that are doing different tasks. We've got like librarian agents that's, sole task is pulling information in and seeing if this is news that already happened, or if it's like duplicate or redundant information. We have curator agents that are given specific tasks based on like logic about a certain subsector or subsegment, and they're customizable to curate news based on what it needs to look for. So if it's like, hey, we just want to look for news about real world assets, or about Oracle providers on Ethereum, or what are all the latest hacks on DeFi protocols, right? We can create these types of curators that then will be able to build out a customized feed that will be tailored for what you're looking for.
Are these agents that are live now? Like, are they working in a swarm already, or is this part of the roadmap?
They're already working.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we have a lot more planned on our roadmap to further enhance like right now, the reality is this: we built this initially because we were trying to solve our own problem. Mm-hmm. We, as a media company, we were like, hey, curation takes a long time, like, because it's not objective, it is subjective, right? Like deciding what's newsworthy or not might sound pretty easy to a person like, oh yeah, I just look at it and be like, hey, this is news. But when we try to break it down and apply first principles to it and really try to granularly, break that problem up, it's pretty difficult. So, we spend a lot of time, fine tuning and working out, how we can make these, curated agents be able to pick out news. And while there's still room for improvement, we already have, effectively a production ready model that we're testing. But, there's going to be V2, V3, V4 of this as we, expand our beta user base and get more feedback and refine our kind of functionality and algorithms. So yeah, there's still a road ahead, but we're actually launching our beta version of the platform this week, where our API keys will be available to beta users that can sign up on our website and join the waitlist and start using our feeds.
Beta users equals maybe token holders, some token holders.
So we will be implementing, obviously, all sorts of token utility for the Gloria token. One of them will be the ability to access our platform dashboard, which is one of the next things that we're working on a roadmap that will roll out, which will give token holders an ability to stake and then gain access to request data feeds, either pre-existing ones that we've already made or request special custom ones that could be used for whatever purpose that you or your agent may be looking for.
Dude, love that. Okay. Well, I got to ask you this question, and I don't know that there's even a right or wrong answer to this, but I am curious. I want to get a little more into the utility about the Gloria token, but I do want to ask why a token, and what is that the functionality for it? Let's say now, but what do you picture the functionality being, the utility for it? Even a year out.
Yeah, I mean, so there's going to be a lot of different utilities for it. The initial ones are going to be for as a kind of a way to access our system and platform. Another component will be as a payment mechanism. So we're going to allow users to pay for the usage either as a kind of a tiered monthly model or on a kind of micro transaction based on a data packet by data packet level, utilizing the Gloria token. We're also going to be enabling staking as part of the virtuals ecosystem, and there's going to be additional functionality that we'll be rolling out that we'll be announcing in the near future. So there's definitely a lot of stuff that is planned for the Gloria token. And I think one of the most important things is just the fact that we can just build a community around the token, which without one you just simply have a major challenge to do so. So I think there's just many valuable components that we're going to be able to get to with it.
There's a question right there. You're right. Community is so important in like in Web3. I mean, if you launch an NFT, if you launch a token, you're inviting that challenge, and it is a challenge. It's not as easy as people think. What does that look like for you guys? How are you gonna foster this community, I guess?
I mean, you know what? That's a really good question. I've been in the Web3 crypto space for 5-6 years now. And, one of the reasons I joined the space was because of the community aspect of it. I was doing a lot of Web2 based startups in the past. I mean, I still do some now, just not kind of full time anymore. But, one of the biggest draws was just the community aspect, the fact that you could have this direct connection and relationship to a community that kind of collates around your project. The fact that you can get this direct line of feedback, like right into your veins, right? Like for better or for worse, on good days, you hear great things. On bad days, maybe not so great, but you got to take it both, and you got to filter out the noise. And oftentimes within that, there's a lot of valuable feedback that we can use to improve the product, to, move forward the project. So I think it's really valuable. And I think personally, as a builder in the space for several years now, one of the most important things is to have a certain level of transparency and kind of authenticity. So if you're building in the space, if you're messing up, tell the community that you messed up, and tell the community what you've learned from the mistakes and how you are going to fix it and move forward. No one's perfect, and you're bound to make errors. But I think that's one of the beautiful things about building in public. Like you do it, and you kind of share the journey with the community, and they grow with you. And you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fail, you're going to fall down, but the whole point is you get back up, you admit kind of maybe oversights or mistakes that you did, and as long as you move forward in the right direction, and you don't repeat the same things over and over again, and you're honest about things, and you don't kind of hide things, and you're truthful, it's a great relationship to have when you kind of build in public with a Web3 project.
Dude, yeah, I think look, there's a lot of learning that happens on both sides, on the team side, and it actually on the community side too. That's just as important. The intentions matter a lot, and I'm going to show you why. Something that happened in the virtuals ecosystem today, it doesn't happen if you know the team, if you have interacted with the team in a different way. And it really does matter who the team is and who are the people actually building these products. Okay, let me see if I can find it here. And look, I don't have any comment on this, maybe specifically because I don't know. I just, familiar with the ticker. I've seen some
Oh,
headlines
wow,
about
yeah.
this on X, but the balls token or
Oh, I
bulls.
wasn't aware of this. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess tokens unlocked today, and this is being considered now the first rug on virtual. It's bound to happen, right? It's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
We know. And there's some tokens that just never launched. They were removed from the site because it was very clear they were gonna be a rug. So if this is really officially a rug, it's gonna be unfortunately the first of many. Man, you probably could have vetted this differently if the team had the balls to get in front of you guys and talk to you and told you they're going to be transparent and make mistakes along the way, but own up to it and do better and learn, right? That's what you guys need. That's what we all want. It's what we should really, to some degree, demand, from projects that we're hanging out with, investing in, trading with, all that stuff. So again, not shocked to see this. The timing of it's great if we're going to talk about that kind of thing. Again, the transparency and why these teams, who they are, matters a lot. So not
Yeah.
great, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why, whether it's a Web3 project or kind of like a VC investment or anything. I mean, it's the reason why I think for any investor or community, for that matter, the most important thing is the team. Really,
yeah.
the ideas, of course, critical. The business model is important, and all the other aspects are very important as well. But if you can't trust the team, or you don't feel comfortable with the team in terms of whether it's their execution or integrity, like that's a deal breaker in my opinion.
Yep, dude, nailed it. Okay, so now part of the community, I know one of the communities wants. I'm in the community, you are too. I think we largely know what people like, what they value. It is attention. People love attention. You need attention because it does, dude. Attention correlates to price. It just does. I've seen Gloria in some videos before, and I think this is what with crypto briefing, like right on, I don't know if it's YouTube or what, but like actually reporting on news. Is she still doing that? Are there plans for her to do that? Because I think that's crazy, like in a good way.
So that's actually part of the lore of Gloria. When we launched Gloria the AI agent, she was actually the embodiment of Gloria, our AI news anchor,
Okay.
who was part of our AI platform that we built. We had automated the whole process of curating, discovering news, and as well as the content generation and publication of it. And one of the capabilities that we built was, once news was discovered and an editor was kind of producing content, you can also produce a video in an automated fashion that was like a 1 minute long video segment that was essentially reporting on kind of one specific story. And usually we would put out 1 to 2 videos a day that was covering like the big news story of the day, right? So Gloria was our news anchor, and then we felt like it would be cool to have her essentially get tired of the corporate, strappings at a crypto media company, and she wanted to go independent and do her own thing. And that's why we essentially freed her from her desk job as an anchor, and we actually retired her. We had a video of her being like, what, I'm moving on, and we on crypto briefing tweeted about like, good luck, Gloria, on your new Twitter account, and we retired her. So the moment she stopped, kind of doing the news anchor stuff, was when we launched her Twitter account. So we had a kind of a whole timeline. Now we have Nova, who's our new AI news anchor.
Okay.
No aspirations yet for her to go independent, but so far it's just Gloria.
Is this one Gloria, or is this the new one?
That's Nova. That's our new AI news anchor.
I'm
Gloria was our old new AI news anchor who effectively quit and started her own Twitter account.
Okay. All right. Dude, I love it. I'm blown away by the tech. Like I have sometimes, like I'll go down YouTube rabbit holes and I'll find that I'm listening to something after a while. Like it's good enough where if I'm not paying close attention, I don't realize it's AI. Eventually you realize it, right? But man, the potential for all this AI generated news and content it's mind-boggling. I mean, I 3 years ago I chatted with Andrew Steinwald, had him on our CryptoSlam podcast back then. I didn't see it back then. He said it on the show. He said 90 something percent of content out there and news and these articles is going to be AI generated. I didn't believe him. And it's not often that a guy like that would say something that I wouldn't believe. I didn't believe it. A year ago, it hit me. A year ago, it like clobbered me over the head, and I saw it. I get it. And that is definitely coming. It's cool. It's cool being on the cutting edge of that for you, I imagine.
Yeah, no, it's been definitely really interesting and fun and challenging at the same time. But you know, we're just getting started. We've got this whole roadmap of stuff that we're looking to do. So it's really, kind of super exciting at this point to kind of see where Gloria has come from and where she's heading to right now. So it's
Yeah.
great.
What does that look like then? What does this roadmap look like? Some next deliverables and where you see Gloria in, let's say, a year, a few years?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, a few years, it's hard to predict because like just at the pace at which AI is, kind of innovating and accelerating, it's just really crazy. Like, like you were saying, like a few months ago to today, like just the advances in, AI voice quality has gone from like, they sound slightly robotic to, they're laughing and coughing and you don't even know if it's a person or not. So it's unbelievable how fast the tech is moving. But in terms of our roadmap, like I mentioned before, we're launching our beta of the platform this week so that people can, kind of start testing our, news feeds via API and WebSocket stream right away. But the next step is we're going to be building out and launching the actual interface or dashboard that people can then access to um, uh, you know, start using our news data feeds via an actual user interface. So that's happening in the coming months in this quarter. And
What might that look like if I'm using that terminal? And can I, like, how granular does it get? Can I tell it certain topics I want to see? Like, what does that look like?
so the initial user interface can be fairly straightforward, where it's more like you can kind of select different feeds and maybe input certain kind of requirements, and then you'll be able to once you put in the requirements, it'll take a little bit of time to kind of process, and maybe the next day you'll have kind of a feed available. But we're going to be releasing multiple versions of that user interface. Where the second version will have more of a natural language processing interface where you can actually just chat with it for it to build, custom feeds for you.
Cool.
And then ultimately, we're going to be releasing a more retail-centric terminal where you can just go in and be like, hey, give me the latest on, what's happening in the EU for, crypto-related policies, or any major exploits in the last kind of week in this ecosystem, and it'll be able to tell you kind of what's going on. And we're going to be developing a lot of other stuff down the road, and this is kind of farther out, which we'll probably make some more formal announcements around. But stuff that's not just news, right? Just broader market intel and signals. We've got just a lot of things planned, some of which are not on the roadmap yet, which is going to be super exciting for us once we kind of get to that point. But right now we're really focused on the short and near term, which is kind of rolling out some of the immediate product releases and improvements to the data platform itself.
Dude, incredible. Again, I don't know if this just resonates with me so much because I again, I spend so much time digging through news and trying to curate it myself. And it's, dude, just such a time saver. But whether it's that or it's trading or whatever's your flavor, I think this is going to save you some time, maybe help you with your trades too. So, man, GG's, I really like this. If people do want to get in the beta, can you say again how people get involved later this week?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way is to go to our website, www.itsgloria.ai, and there's a join button or like a waitlist button. There's two different buttons on the site. You click on that, fill out a super short form, your name, your project, what you'd like to use our feeds for, and then boom, you're on our forums, and we'll get in touch with you to kind of start doing onboarding depending on what you're looking for.
Nice. Okay. Well, I know what I'm doing right after the show, so appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Let me throw up some socials, and while I'm doing that, any final points? Anything you want to share with everybody before we get out?
Not a ton. Just gratitude for kind of for the community that's come out to support us. We've had a good launch so far. We're we're just getting started right now. So for those that, kind of want to learn more, go to our, socials, follow It's Gloria AI, go to our website, join our wait list, join our Telegram group. The links are all on the site. And, we'd love to kind of hear from everybody and learn from everyone.
There you go. Love it, sir. It's Gloria_AI. I even have alerts on because I'm finding it that helpful already just to get those. If it weren't for that, I would be out there searching for it. I really am using it already. Pretty awesome. Follow John at John Chen with a 0 there. Dude, awesome guy. I'm really glad you came on. I appreciate you a ton. Guys, subscribe over here. You might be watching on Abstract X or YouTube, regardless of where you're watching. Smash the like, but also come over to the YouTube side as we get deeper into these Genesis launch projects and tokens. Man, you guys get it. The next season of AI is coming up. It is very, very important to stay on top of it. So if you can't catch this show live over here on the YouTube account, catch the replays of it. So Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, or whenever you want, right over on YouTube. Follow us at SlamAI_XYZ. And then we have an agent. It's the Swarm_AI, going to be in the virtuals ACP, the autonomous hedge fund with AIXBT and AIXVC. And they're coming on the show next week, too. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. But for here and now, guys, Gloria AI, John Chen, dude, appreciate you a ton. Thank you for coming on and sharing with all of us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.